Hey, what's up guys, it's Flux. Welcome back to some of my website development videos. Today we're going to be working on our WordPress website and we're going to start diving into how we can actually customize the site and start to make it our own. We've already dove into some of the settings and started to customize our back end of the site, but now let's work on what people are actually going to see. So if you haven't seen any of my previous videos, you can go check those out. The links will be in the description, as well as these should all be in a playlist for you to easily watch them all in a succession. So in order to access our theme settings, the first thing we're going to click here when we're looking at our website is we're going to click on Customize. It's going to be this little tab with the paintbrush here. It'll be in the top row. If you are in your admin dashboard, there's also a tab on the left under Appearances. Alright, so similar to what we did in the last video, we're basically going to be working through these options one by one, and I'll briefly explain what they do to your site and how you can use them to your full advantage. So basically, back in here under our logo tab, under site identity, the first thing we're going to do is select our site logo. If you don't have a logo yet, I advise you to make one. Another thing to note here is right here it will usually put the suggested dimensions for the logo that you'll be using. So I already have a logo made up for this website that I'm going to be using for this video. So I'm going to navigate to my hard drive and I'm just going to find the official logo for my site. Alright, so once you upload your logo, a good practice is to quickly fill out this alt text and the description and caption for your photo. You can even just copy and paste the title if you're really lazy. Basically, this will just help with search engine optimization or SEO in the future. So yeah, we're just going to select our logo and it's going to ask you to crop it down to the suggested size, which in this case was 150 by 50 pixels. And we're just going to click publish and we're going to see our change come up here, and it should change this logo right here to my logo here. Alright, as you can see, it worked and it looks pretty good. So now we're going to click the back arrow and we're going to go to our next tab here, which is colors. So this is our background color. It's not going to change the background color of this slider here, as that is a separate widget in itself. So this background color is referring to the background for the rest of the site. So for example, if we go on one of the blog posts on our site, what color do you want the background to be? I'm just going to stick with white. Another common choice would be to have your background black and the text white, of course, but that is up to you to decide for yourself. Next, we have our header image. Again, this is not referring to the header image on our home page. This is actually referring to the header image in your blog posts. So if you set this header image, you won't see any changes here. But if you add a blog post to your site and you navigate to that blog post, there'll be an image across the top of the blog post, and that is your header image. I'm not going to be using a header image. I find they're a bit outdated in the design of a lot of sites. If you find a way to use it and make it look good, then props to you for doing that. So next we're going to go to background image. Same deal as the background color, sorry. It's just referring to the background on the rest of the site, such as your blog posts. So if you don't want a flat background, if you don't want your background to just be white or just black or just blue or whatever, you can set it to an image using this. Menus, this is a very important tab that we're going to be changing a lot throughout the progress of the website. We're not going to be using it much right now as we haven't really created any pages for our site. But this menus tab is where we're going to basically edit all of the menus that you see on our website. For example, there's one here on the top, which would be our primary menu. And this setting here is where we can essentially change and edit that menu. So for example, I could add a new page to the site. If I add blog to the primary menu, that it'll come up at the top here. Alright, so you can see the blog has appeared on our menu here. I'm going to leave that for now, but we're going to be removing that in the future. So the next tab we're working with here is the widgets tab. This is going to be referring to your sidebar on your website. So if you have a shop or a blog on your website, again, I'll actually navigate over to the blog here so you can see what I'm talking about. This is where you'll add and edit widgets that will basically customize the sidebar of your website. Alright, so as I'm using a one-column design, this theme currently does not have a sidebar. However, if I were to add a sidebar and have widgets over here, this is where I would add my widgets to said sidebar. So next will be our homepage settings. We already went through these on our general settings. Again, this is where you're set your homepage for your website, whether you want it to display all your latest blog posts or a static page. And it will also be where you set what page you want all your blog posts to be displayed on. So if you haven't set that up yet and you want some more insight into that, you can check out my last video on this, on setting up your WordPress general settings. So the next tab is our WooCommerce settings. We haven't added any products to our store yet or done any setup for our WooCommerce. So this settings tab is going to be essentially irrelevant as of now. However, this is where you will customize any of your basic WordPress settings WooCommerce settings once that is set up. For example, you can add a store notice here saying, due to COVID, shipping will be delayed up to 2 weeks. So that's where you'd have such a notice like that. So again, those are our basic customized settings. I know we didn't change much. All we've done is the logo and go through the rest of these settings. Again, a lot of the purpose of this is new people to WordPress often find difficulty on where they can find specific settings and how to actually edit your website. So I'm just trying to take you guys through on where you can find everything to customize your website. So as I go through in the future videos and I'm talking about things, it makes way more clear sense on where you guys can find the place to change that. So thanks so much for watching, guys. That's the end of this video. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the next part of this tutorial series comes out. Next time we're going to be working on customizing our homepage on our website and making it look like our brand. Again, thanks for watching. Have a good rest of the day, guys. Peace out.